All right. All right. That's fine. So we are moving forward. Thank God for the progress. So today we'll be doing the nav button and the nav menu button, right? Then we'll now move to the feature bus. We'll move to the feature bus. The major work in this website is the CSS part and the JavaScript part. That's the major work. This one is just normal HTML, right? So let's continue. So for the nav button, we have a download icon. Yes, now please confirm if you can see my screen. Pejiro, so rejoin. Okay. So please, as you are seeing, we have we have two buttons here actually. We have the first one is a download button. The second one is a nav link. The toggle menu button. Yeah, you can see the download button here, right? Then on mobile view, there's another button too. This is the button. Hmm? So that's what I'm showing you. The download button, which is this one. Then the other button, which is for the mobile view. You understand? So and this button they carry icons. They carry each of them carry icons. The first one carry this download button icons. The other one carry this other toggle button icon. So that when you click on the when you click on this button here, you can see this button. When you click on it, it will now bring out the the nav link, because normally on mobile view the nav link I add in I hide the nav link. I hide them so that on mobile view when you click on this you can see them. Do you understand? So those are the two buttons that are here. The one of them is this, then the other one is this. You get? So we'll be working on the two buttons at the same time. So if for the first div we say button, then inside the button we give the button a class name, right? And the class name for this particular button is btn. Then btn, then we now say download cv, or you can put anything that you like, but mine is download cv, right? Then after that, there's there's an icon. This is the icon here. This icon is coming from online. It's coming from online. That's why we have this link here, this unicorns link. So without this link, that icons will not show, and it is online. So you have to make sure that your internet is connected to your device before the icons will load properly. Do you understand? All right. So that's the first. That for the first div, right? Now the second div is another icon too, but another button. But this time around, Instead of using button element, we just use icon element. We just use the icon directly instead of using the button element. So what I will do is that I will explain this, but let me just copy it first and paste. So this is class, this is the class name that forms the icon itself, right? Then this on click, this is for JavaScript. On click my function. So I will explain better when we get to JavaScript for this particular my function here. It means that when you click on that button, something should happen. Do you understand? So that's the function of this particular on click attribute that you are seeing here. Do you get? So when you click it, it should release an element or something should happen. When you click on that particular icon, something should happen. So that's why this on click my function is here. Do you understand? Now let's now move to the feature bus. The feature bus, let me show you the feature bus area. This is the feature bus, right? This area like this now, both the image that is showing here, that's the feature bus. Now we are done with the navbar. Okay, so the feature bus is this hero session. You can call it hero. You can call this particular session hero session. This particular session that you are seeing, this write up and this image here, you can call it hero session. But for this particular project, I call it feature bus session. You understand? Feature bus session. So that's what we'll be working on next. So I will do as usual. What I'll do first of all is I've already give it a class name and I've also give it an ID name, right? So inside this session, we have a div called feature test. That's the class name, feature test, right? Now, all right. So what happens is that inside this session here, right? Remember this session is it is inside the main element. This element, do you understand? It is inside the main element. And this element now carries a class name called wrapper. You get? So inside this session, inside this feature bus session, right? We have different elements. The first one is the test element, which is called feature test. The second one is the image element, which is called feature image. Then the third one is what is called the scroll icon button. Scroll icon bus. Yeah, yeah, scroll icon bus, which is this bus you are seeing here now. It will take you to, you understand? That is scroll icon bus. Yeah. So now we will start with writing the three div that we have. We have one, we have two, and we have three, right? So each of them have a class name called uh, this. So for the class name, the first one is called feature test. Feature test. While the other one is called feature image. While the last one is called scroll icon bus. Now we will not do each of them one by one. We'll do the HTML one by one. Now for the feature test, right? Feature tests also have different elements. The elements are so many. Oh. So the first one is this first element, which is John Doe. Hmm? This element, this thing you are seeing here, where is it? This John Doe is a span. It's a span. That's why it only contain the area that the text contain. That's span. So we have a div separately made for that. We also have a div. We have a div separately made for this this write up, this typewriting write up that you are seeing here. This is a div. This is a special div. There's a div made for this one only. There's also a div made for this one only too. Then there's a div made for all this one. Then all this one. Then all this one. Right. So we have this typewriting effect test. We also have feature test info, which is experienced front end developer. Right. Then we also have two buttons, hire me and download CV button, right? Then we also have different social media icons, which are these icons here. That's the social media icons. Then after that, we'll now move to the image. But I think I'm fast forwarding, so let me start from one place first. Do you understand? So let us start from this feature test. So for the feature test, we have alright, we have a div. We have a div. Then for the div, feature test card. Feature test card. Now inside the feature test card, that's where we have a span called John Doe. Do you get John Doe? Right? Now after that, I hope you are following. After that, follow, because you need to follow. After that, we now have another div. That div has a class name of feature name. That's why we now have a typewriting effect. Now inside that particular div, we have a paragraph, right? Now inside the paragraph, we have I am. Then another span. I gave you guys one assignment on span now. Have you done it? You forgotten about it? Eh. So please do not forget this time around. Submit it tomorrow. I need it. Yeah, I need the assignment for something. So you have to provide, you have to make it available. So as I was saying, inside the feature name div, we have a paragraph, right? Then in between the paragraph element, we also have another element called span. This element you are seeing here, you are seeing it here now. It is called span, right? Now that span carry a class name of type test. um Type test. Alright. Now we are moving forward o. Now after the feature name div, we also have another div called feature test info. Feature test info. Feature test info. Now that particular div that we just created, it also have another element inside of it, and the name of the element is called paragraph. Paragraph. So that paragraph now, that's where we have, there's no time to be writing it. Let me just copy it and paste here. So we have experienced front-end developer with a passion for creating visually stunning and user websites. You understand? So that's what that's what inside the paragraph. Now moving forward, after that particular div, remember we are seeing the first div. The first div is called what? It's called feature test. So we are seeing that first div. Now after that, after this feature test info div, we now have feature test button. So we have div, the class attribute is called feature test button. Feature test button. Right. Now inside this feature test button, that's where we have two different icons, just as the first two icons that we that we did today. Now this one and this one, but the difference is that two of them, they are inside one div at the same time. Button, the class attribute is what? Btn. Then we also have another class attribute too, called blue btn. So that tells you that this button alone have two particular class name. So the first one is btn. That means that if you call a class name in css called btn, any style that apply to that particular class name called btn, it will apply to all the elements that have the class name called btn. Do you understand? Now if you want to now style only this one, if you want to style only this one, that's where you will now introduce blue. You will now introduce another body called blue btn. You sell the iPhone now, 350k. You understand? I want to be sure if you are following. I don't want to assume you are following, abi. So that's it. You can actually use id here. You can use id, but for this particular project I no use id, so that's why I use two class name, btn and blue btn. So what I will do is, for the sake of time, I'll copy this and paste. Copy this and paste. Right. Now after btn div, now we now have another div called social icons. Social icon div. Alright. We have social icon div still immediately after the feature test button div. Now inside the div, we have a class name called social. sometimes you need to be very careful when it comes to the name, because if you remove, maybe you rewrite this one like this now, and when you want to style it, it's different something you are styling. You will not see the effect. You will not be complaining. You get, so you have to pay attention to the names that you are writing. So inside these social icons div, we have different div. We have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Dreambook, we have GitHub. um Insta Instagram, LinkedIn, Dreambook, GitHub. So each of the icons, right, they all came from this unicorns icon. So that tells you that without an internet, you cannot do what? You cannot see them. So um we have, where is it now? We have a div. The name of the div is, the class name is called icon. Now you notice that all the class name for all the div, they are called what? Icons. Are you seeing them? So now the reason why they are all called icons is that if I want to style all of them like this now, I'll just call the class name icon. It will now style everything. The style will apply to all the icons in this particular project, or all the icons in this session. You understand? All right. So then the class name for the icons. Look at the icons button here. This is the icons button. It is inside the div. Hmm? We say icons. Sorry. I I now will now have a class name called UIL. Then UIL Instagram, right? So that's that for that. Now what I'll do is I'll copy the remaining one because they are still the same pattern. Still the same pattern. I'll copy this three because of time, and I'll paste it outside here. Yeah. If you notice, all this my code, they are having lines upon lines. Yeah. It's because if I want to go back to the code, I'll know where everything is coming from. I send them line by line by lines. This one two line, this one two line, this one two line. Are you seeing it? So a way social icons. Oh, I've done a mistake. So yeah. Alright. The icons should be here, not that place. Do you understand? It should be here. Hmm? So what I'll do again is I'll copy this and paste it here. Yeah. So then this like this. Alright. Now we have gotten our four icons. Hmm? If I open this thing now, it's not even look as if you are doing anything. No, it will not look fine. It should not even look wonderful self. But then just bear with me. Let's finish this part. By the time we open up CSS and start adding CSS to it, you will now see the beauty of what you have been doing. Do you understand? So we have div. Now for the div for feature image. So for the feature image, we only have one div inside the feature image div, right? And that particular div carries another element called image. It calls image, right? So we say image img. Then you now copy where the image is located and place it here, right? But remember, the div inside the feature image div have a class name that is called what? Image. That is called image, right? Then alternative. What is alternative used for? Hmm? Ah, this boy already sleep. Hello? Hi. Can you still hear me? Oh, sorry, it's your network. Peace, Alpha. Oh, yeah, so you not hear me before. All right. I'll be asking one particular question. I said this alternative attribute now, it is used for what in this image element? What it is? What is the function of alternative? Oh, oh. All right. All right. So yeah. Mm, all right. All right. Clap for yourself. I'll buy biscuits. No worry. So let's move forward. I'm happy. I'm happy. So we have inside now the last div inside the feature what? The feature box is scroll icon button. Now inside the scroll icon button we have a link for that. That link is where we have about, right? So what this particular hash about is doing is that you know that when you move forward now you see about box, right? And you see ID about. Are you seeing it? uh So it means that it means that you see that it is similar about, but when they click on this about now, it will take them to this about section. That's the function of this hash that you are seeing here. Do you understand? Yeah, that's the function of that hash that you are seeing there. So even though this even though you apply the same thing to the nav bar, hmm, which is the nav links, when when you apply this hash about now or hash something, maybe you want to go to the footer section, and on the nav link there's a button called footer, or just a normal nav link called footer. So when you click on that nav link, to take the user directly to the footer section because of the hash that you already added at the top. You understand? Or should I come again? All right. So that's the function of this hash that you're seeing here. Now, this particular link have a class attribute called scroll btn lashes. All right, scroll btn. Now inside the link we have icons icon. Now the icon carries a class name of carry a class name of u l il, then mouse. You are seeing mouse alt. So it means that the icon carries a button. The button carries an icon, and the icon name is mouse. So let me open this stuff. I hope my internet is still connected. Are you seeing this mouse icon? You are seeing this my icon, right? So yeah, that's the icon here. Then after that, you now have a paragraph. You now have a paragraph, right? That's a scroll down div paragraph. So I hope you understand how we're able to cover this nav this feature box today. Hmm? All right. So moving forward is about session, the about session. So for the about session, we have about, I'm coming, one, two. Okay, we have about two div inside the about session. Two div inside the about session. Div one and div two. Right. For the div one, for the div one, we have top header. Then for the div two, we have row. Right. So now for the first one, the top header, hmm? Top header only have one element called h1 h1, which says about me. So that's the only element that top header have, about me. Right. Now we also have another div called row. Now inside that div now we have one, two. We have two separate div. We have two separate div. The first one is about info. The second one is the skills boss. The skills boss. Hmm? Now, what I'll do is that for the for the first one, which is the row, for the row, we have a div. We have a div called You know what we do is about info, right? Then inside that we have history. We have history. Then we also have a paragraph element. No worry, we'll stop here today. I want to just finish this part like this so that by on Wednesday we finish this part. I'll move directly to what? To the project session. Then if there's still time, we'll now move to this. But I'm suggesting, right? I don't know what you guys will think about it too. Oh no worry, let me finish first. So for the H3, you see my introduction, right? Then we'll now see a paragraph. There's no need of typing this paragraph from scratch. What I'll just do, I'll just copy the paragraph and paste it somewhere here. You get? So that's that for the paragraph. That's that for the paragraph. Then on our next agenda now is the a div immediately after the paragraph. A div immediately after the paragraph. Now the name of the class attribute of that div is called about btn. Now inside the about btn, that's where we now have a button, butt button, right? That button now carries a class name called btn. So remember, whenever someone style this, where is it, btn button, it will automatically affect this one here too. Hmm? Are you seeing it? It will still apply to this particular btn because it carries the same name with the other ones. Carry the same name with the other ones. So btn and what download cv icon is also there too. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this download cv icon. Download cv icon. Are you seeing it? So that's it. So by the time if you have started working, if you have started working, let me open it for you guys. Yeah, look at how it look like for the now without css. So on our next class, we will move to our next agenda, right? Which is completing the skill board session because we're already done with this part, right? Completing the skill board session, we will need to address it very well because there are so many elements inside of it. You understand? We have to do it gently before we now move to the project boss. All right. So do you have any question today from what we have done? Remember, I'm recording this video. It's clear enough. All right. I will. I will. So I will pause the. Yes. So I will stop recording now.